Hello, this is Lacquerography, and this is my wish list for Hella Handmade Creations, January 2026. I've already gone ahead and made a preliminary first impressions wish list, and right now there are 16 items sitting in that preliminary wish list. I have noticed some trends so far in the type of things that are catching my eye. Let's dive right in and take a look at those 16 items, and we'll talk a little bit about each as we go. The first item up on my all nail polish items wish list is by 1422 Designs, Free Parking. This one is listed here as being a capped pre-order, and skimming down here, it does say that there is a 100 cap. That's pretty small. So what that means is that in this case, the maker, 1422 Designs, is committing to creating 100 of these items, and after that, it's considered sold out. 1422 Designs continues their game night series with a polish inspired by the free parking space on the Monopoly board. Free Parking has a pale sage green base with blue teal green shifting shimmer and holographic flakes. This one appealed to me right away for this pale sage green base. I love greens, and this one is a really beautiful icy version of that. This one reminds me of the season that we're in right now. I'm filming this on January the 11th, and we do have a significant amount of snow on the ground that's been here actually for several weeks at this point. I'm a Canadian, and we've had snow on the ground since the first week of November. A few melts here and there, but really there's been snow on the ground for most of late fall and throughout the winter so far. This one also, though, reminds me of that time of winter thawing into spring. It does have a freshness about this color as well as that iciness. So I could see myself actually getting quite a bit of use out of a color like this one, not just strictly in the winter or anything like that. For me, it's not just the base color, but it's also the addition of this interesting shifting shimmer as well as the hollow flakes that have had me add this one to my wish list. I find that the hollow flakes offer a little bit of a silvery gray kind of aspect to this polish, and it's very much appealing to me right now. I find myself just sort of breathing almost a sigh the more of these swatch photos that I flip through. For me, this polish color gives me almost a calming effect. It's beautiful and serene. And as far as the inspiration for this as well, who doesn't love a great game of Monopoly? I used to love this game, playing it with my sister, and it would just be never ending. It was incredibly rare that we ever made an attempt to reach all the way to the end of the game, but I can really remember the amount of fun that we had when we were still living at home playing this game. It was really one of our favorites to pull out, and I kind of miss those times, spending hours playing a board game with my sister. It seems like this really was something that I wish we could kind of bring back. But of course, life moves on. We live in different areas now, and calm, cozy times like this spent together, just the two of us, are pretty rare. So I love the nostalgia of this one as well. It brings back all the great family feels. For all these reasons, this polish is quite a promising one to end up in my shopping cart when the shop opens on January the 14th. This beautiful sage-colored hollow polish is by 1422 Designs, Free Parking. This next polish up is by Alchemy Lacquers, and this one is called Winter's Bane. This one is another capped offering, and looking down here at the description, it says that this one has a 200 cap. So in this case, Alchemy Lacquers is committing to creating 200 of these polishes before it's considered sold out. Alchemy Lacquers continues their Alchemy series. Winter's Bane is an icy pale blue Crelly nail lacquer with pink to orange to gold iridescent shifting flakes and a slight touch of holographic flakes. This one's another one that was a pretty immediate add to wish list the moment I saw it. So much of it is about this gorgeous base color. For a couple of years, there's been just a regular SE nail polish that has the ever so slight addition of a touch of blue to a white base. I think it's called Doodle the Minimum. And that's a polish I was never able to find here in Canada. There are quite a few SE releases that never really reach Canada. And that seemed to be one of them for my area anyway. I tried looking online. I wasn't really interested in purchasing it through any sort of like third-party seller or anything like that. But yeah, the usual stockists of SE in my area never really got Doodle the Minimum. And I always love that color on people. There's just that little bit of cool refreshment to a white. And that's what I'm getting here with this polish. It's the palest icy blue, borderline white, but clearly that hint of blue. And again, everything I'm looking for right now with my snow-covered world around me. And in addition to that, there's the bonus addition of all these flakes, holographic, and also the iridescent flakes. It has such a magical, ethereal, fairy-like look to me. This is another one that I could see myself wearing in the winter, through the transition into spring with the thaw. It really is a beautiful, fresh blue. I could actually see myself pulling a polish like this one in the summer as well. It does remind me of beautiful, clear summer skies, fluffy clouds. It's a beautiful, light, optimistic color. I'm loving the way this one looks on darker skin tones as well. I am a reasonably pale-skinned person, but I always love it when a polish looks equally good on all swatchers. If I love the way a polish looks in every single swatch photo, I can be pretty confident that I'm going to love it once it reaches me. This gorgeous polish with its base color, all these components in it, I think it would dance so beautifully in all different lighting effects as well. Holographic flakes would catch the sunlight, but also holo plays beautifully in indoor lighting too. The same thing with the iridescent flakes. I think different types of lighting conditions would showcase different elements of this polish beautifully. I feel like a polish like this one would be quite a chameleon in all different aspects of my life throughout the shifting light of a day. I would love to see this polish in person in my own nail polish collection so that I could enjoy it for myself as I go about my everyday life. This one I think is one of my top picks this month. This beautiful icy Crelly is by Alchemy Lacquers, Winter's Bane. This next one on my wish list is by BCB Lacquers, and this one is called And You Have My Bow. This one is another capped offering. This time there are 300 being made available. BCB Lacquers begins a new series inspired by Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit, with the first polish inspired by Legolas. And You Have My Bow is a grade jelly with a strong blue-green shimmer and gold-green multichrome magnetic pull. I don't know about you, but I can definitely start to see a little bit of a trend happening here in my wish list. These are all very, to me, wintry feeling polishes. And I'm loving the vibe so far of my selections within my wish list. This one's another really gorgeous one too. These grade type polishes are always favorites in my collection. For me, I don't know what it is about it, but a little bit of a grade element for me almost makes any color polish a little bit more wearable for me in my life, going about my daily routines, as well as all the unexpected things that might pop up in my life. There's something grounding about something a little bit gray, and I get that with this one. What I'm loving here is there's that flash of really gorgeous gold, but that grade aspect of it really kind of tones it down. It reminds me a little bit of like a burnished or tarnished metal. And I think this overall look is really quite gorgeous. I also can't really think of anything at this point in my own collection that looks quite like this. If you can think of anything, please feel free to add your thoughts in the comments. One of my goals in 2026 is to get my rapidly growing polish collection way better organized so I can make better comparisons and control my spending a little bit. I really do love what I'm seeing here of this sort of mixed metal type look, the gray with the gold. Also, it's described as being a gold green. I'm not so much seeing this here in the static photos, but I'd love to dive in a little bit. I haven't done my homework yet looking at swatch videos. I would love to see how this polish comes alive with all the shifts as the swatcher moves their fingers to catch the light in different ways. The only thing I can really think of is that through polish pickup in 2025, I know that I purchased polishes by Baroness X that were the inverse of one another. One had kind of a silver base with a gold magnetic pull, and the other one was the reverse, kind of a golden base with a silver magnetic pull. That's the only thing I can think of off the top of my head that would even come close to a polish like this one. But with this polish, I think as opposed to a silver base, we're really looking at a predominantly gray kind of look. And I really do think that this would be a standout in my collection. I love the way the gray tones down, the flashiness of the gold. Who can deny the inspiration here? Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, what a classic, and it's a classic for a reason. I can't wait to see where BCB Lacquers goes with this new series. I'll be following it pretty closely. This one at this point is a strong contender on my wish list. Maybe not quite a top pick yet, but we'll see where my research takes me in terms of looking at some video swatch footage before the shop opens on January the 14th. This one really is gorgeous though. This beautiful gray and gold magnetic is by BCB Lacquers, and you have my bow. This next one up is by Bee's Knees Lacquer. This one is called Blow Away Windbag. This one is another capped offering with 500 of these being made available this month. Bee's Knees Lacquer continues their Oblivion-inspired series. Blow Away Windbag is a warm turquoise with orange to green shimmer. This one's another fall wintry type polish, and I stand by the fact that I'm loving the way this wish list is shaping up. I think even as a collection on their own, these wintry, cool vibes are really, I think, all that I'm craving right now. I will have a hard time, as I usually do, narrowing down this wish list. So for me, I love this base color, but I think it's that strong, fiery shimmer that's really appealing to me. That warm, fiery glow I've been attracted to in the last year or so. I always love a good contrast, that cooler base color with the warm, fiery shimmer. It creates beautiful, intriguing color play, and I'm so here for it. As I look through some of these swatches, though, I do kind of wonder how sheer this polish might be. I am absolutely not opposed to sheer polishes. In fact, sometimes I even opt to wear my polishes in just one coat to provide a light wash of color, just a hint of polish, if I'm looking for something a little bit more subtle and ethereal. So it's not that it's a problem for me, but I do kind of wonder, I don't know, I think this one is maybe just a maybe on my wish list at this point. In this swatch photo, there's really no way of knowing for sure. I'm just making a guess, but I almost wonder if this swatcher, because I can see a huge amount of visible nail line here, I'm kind of wondering if this might be the polish just showcased in one coat. I love this look still. I think it's really light and beautiful and shimmery. I mean, really that shimmer does take center stage for me. Sometimes I wish you could tell right away on the website what the swatcher has done so you can really get a better picture of the exact type of polish in terms of nail polish's opacity or translucence or transparency. But I'm kind of guessing here this might be just in one coat. If it is, it's beautifully sort of self-leveling looking. There's no patchiness that I can see at all. That base color is another one that I could see myself being drawn to absolutely in the winter right now. Also in the fall, it's got that interesting moodiness that I'm often craving in the fall months, a bit of a coziness as well. It does have also a little bit of a freshness. It's described as having a warm turquoise color base. It's a little bit of a moody take on even a summer or spring polish for me as well. It looks a little bit stormy or rainy maybe for spring, and a little bit maybe watery, like deep ocean, that kind of thing for summer. Like I could see myself getting a lot of use out of a polish like this one, but I know that I've been drawn to these warm, fiery shimmers for a while now. I'm going to have to see as best as I can in my existing rather disorganized collection how this one might compare to some other purchases I've made recently. So for now, this one's a maybe. I really do think it looks like a beautiful, high quality polish. I'm loving the fact that even though it's sheer, it looks incredibly leveled and consistent, not patchy at all. And I really do love a fiery shimmer. Shimmer polishes are consistently one of my favorite polish finishes. They're my go-tos when I'm kind of undecided about what to wear. And I know that I would like this one quite a bit. It's just a case of, is this really special enough, different enough compared to some others that I have in my collection to warrant me purchasing it this time around? Especially when my wish list is 16 items deep. This beautiful shimmer polish is by Bee's Knees Lacquer Blow Away Windbag. This next polish on my wish list is by Cleona Cosmetics, and this one is called Axolotl. Cleona Cosmetics wraps up their creepy and cute aquatic creatures series. Axolotl has an off-white base with a cool pink peach yellow shifting shimmer, And down here for the first time on my wish list, it says no cap. What that means is that in this case, the maker, Cleona Cosmetics, can create as many polishes that are needed to fulfill all orders this month. And that is a fantastic thing for me because this polish at this point is one of my top picks this month. I can see myself getting non-stop use out of a polish like this one. This would fit every aspect of my life. It appeals to me now in the winter time, but a polish like this one would be incredibly versatile with that little hint of pink to it. It takes away that harshness of a pure white, and it turns this one into something I think is very wearable throughout the year. Cleona Cosmetics is a brand that I adore. They are a Canadian brand based not too far away from where I live in Ontario, Canada, and I do support them as much as I possibly can through collaboration websites like Hella Handmade Creations, but I also make purchases quite often directly from Cleona Cosmetics. This series as well is one where I pretty much have every single polish. I think this series has been so creative and incredibly inspired, and then combined with Cleona Cosmetics' excellent nail polish quality, these polishes have been some of my favorites month upon month. This delicate shell-like color is so beautiful to me. Winter, spring, and summer, I could see myself wearing a polish like this one constantly. This delicate shell-like shimmer is just so ethereal and pretty. This is another one that seems to flatter everybody, and it looks to have quite impressive opacity as well for a white-leaning polish. Here's a swatcher with a longer nail length, and it doesn't indicate how many coats that the swatcher has used, but I do certainly see what looks to my eye anyway like full opacity on their nails, and if there is any visible nail line, it looks to be highly masked by that beautiful shimmer. I have to say, I'm quite sorry to be seeing this series go. It says that Cleona Cosmetics is wrapping up this series, but I can't wait to see what Cleona Cosmetics might be dreaming up next for their follow-up series in Hella Handmade Creations. This gorgeous, warm, off-white polish is by Cleona Cosmetics, Axolotl. This next polish up is by Coloris de Carol, and this one is called Snowed In. This one is another capped offering, and talk about having a very specific number. This one has a very small cap of 110 polishes being made available this month. Coloris de Carol begins a new series called Always in Season with the first polish inspired by winter. Snowed In is a white crelly with blue hollow micro shreds, blue hex glitter, iridescent microflakes, candy aurora flaws, maybe flakes, I'm not really sure, but I'm reading it as is, and white snowflakes. If there was a perfect winter glitter crelly nail polish where they could just bottle up winter, to me, this is it. This one is truly a winter nail polish that I would really be wearing only during this season. Now for me, in the last little bit, I've been really trying to steer away from polishes that are limiting in terms of when and how I can wear them. This one is a snowy day type polish. Luckily for me, I'm a Canadian, so for me, as I said earlier, snow started in the first week of November for us here in my area, and it really has been consistent over the last 2 months. And we still have another 2 months of winter left to go. So winter is not a shy season around where I live. And what you see on the nails is very much what I tend to experience for much of our winters. In that sense, I would get a lot of use out of this polish within the winter season. But this is not one that I'd be looking to in spring and summer and fall, or at least fall until the snow starts to set in. The snow really did arrive halfway through fall this season. We had a very short fall in my area. My own personal rules about the types of things that I want to add to my collection now that my collection is growing really large. That aside, I can't get over the artistry of this polish. This really is winter perfection. I have to give a shout out to makers for their artistry when they do something like this. Create something that is quintessentially winter in a bottle. And Coloris de Carol has done this for me time after time. There have been so many bottles of Coloris de Carol nail polish that I've purchased because of just that. It is art in a bottle. This polish is beautiful and magical, and it's whimsical. To me, it's so happy. And I can't wait to see, this is the beginning of the series, the Always in Season series. I can't wait to see what Coloris de Carol brings us for future monthly offerings within this series. Now, I do have to think a little bit level-headedly and stop being so enamored with how beautiful this polish is. I have to think about whether I really need a polish that is strictly seasonal in my enormous collection. If I could give an award for artistry, this one might actually get top billing this month. I am so utterly impressed, and for that reason I would love to add this one to my collection, but I have to keep in mind with my huge collection, how much am I going to wear it? And for that, I'm not quite sure yet. I think I'm going to have to see how my wish list stacks up. But already there have been several in my wish list that are highly wintry, that have a lot more versatility. So I still have a few days to think about it. I'm not sure about this one. It's so gorgeous, but is it a smart pick for me? Probably not. This one is a maybe for me, but oh my goodness, it is beautiful. This whimsical glitter crelly is by Coloris de Carol, Snowed In. This next polish up is by Cracked Polish, and this one is called Water Your Own Grass. This one is another capped offering, and there are only 350 being made available this month. I feel like a lot of these polish quantities for these makers is really quite small, so that is something I'm going to have to watch out for, and when I finally make my decision, I should consider making my purchase quite early in the week that the shop is open, as close to January 14th as I can. Cracked Polish continues there. It's Not You, It's the Weather series, with a polish inspired by dewy grass, and it's not always greener on the other side. Sometimes it's soggy and wet. Water Your Own Grass has a blue base with green and gold pearlescent shimmer. I love polish colors like this one, but I do know that I own quite a few teal-leaning polishes in my collection. I know my blue collection quite well. This one has a little bit more of that green lean to it, and I think that's really kind of showcased by that name too, Water Your Own Grass. That's a great name. But I do know that I've been adding quite a few blues to my collection lately, as well as teals. For whatever reason, this past year seems to have been a really significant one for both colors being added to my collection. Blues, I know why. Teals, I'm not quite sure. It just seems like a lot of makers have been producing a lot of inspired teals. I love the idea, though, of this green gold pearlescent shimmer. To me, that's where the real interest lies with this polish. I've always loved pearlescent type finishes. To me, it does have kind of a retro look at times. I don't see any of that like telltale streakiness that you sometimes get from polishes described as pearl or pearlescent. To me, it looks so beautifully glassy and smooth. That's also probably a testament to this maker, Cracked Polish. I've always loved every polish of theirs that I've tried. Polishes with a flawless finish is how I'd often describe them. I have quite a few in my collection at this point that I've purchased. I'm always impressed by Cracked Polish's formulas. At this point, it's a beautiful polish, but I think this one is just a maybe right now on my wish list. I am going to have to compare as best as I can this polish to some of the others that I have in my collection. I may have something that's close enough. This one is really a blue base with a greenish gold shimmer. I may have something that could pass for this one, but I always love a polish by Cracked. This one is going to remain on my wish list for now, but I do think that probably I can find something that will suffice within my own collection. We'll see though. This beautiful blue-based polish with a green and gold pearlescent shimmer is by Cracked Polish, Water Your Own Grass. This next polish up is by Cuticula, and this one is called Metamorphosis. This one is another capped offering, and there are 400 being made available this month. Cuticula continues their Wings of a Butterfly series. Metamorphosis has a murky dark blue jelly base with flakes that shift pink-orange gold, small metallic blue flakes, and a touch of silver holographic flakes. Now at first, when I saw this collage, I thought, well, it's a beautiful polish, but I don't know that it's necessarily a must-have for my collection. I mean, it's a beautiful polish. It's looking good on every swatcher here, but I thought, okay, it's a beautiful flaky. I respect that, but I don't necessarily feel the pull to add it to my collection. But then I started clicking through some of the individual swatch photos. What it is those fiery, orangey, pink, red flakes through this cool jelly base and the other cooler components within this polish that had my heart and had me add this one to the wish list. Cuticula does these polishes so well, really unlike any other, and the way the flakies have a way of magically layering and creating a gorgeous magical pool type effect. I could only imagine how beautiful this one would be in real life. Oh, those fiery flakes, they come through in the bottle, they come through on every swatcher's fingers, and I love that contrast that we see here of those fiery pink, orange, gold flakes, which are really, I think, my favorite component in this polish. But then check out over here too, I don't know if I can hover, but they also have these small metallic blue flakies as well. I can hover, that's amazing, but you can really see the contrast there. I love how those really bright blue kind of cobalt looking flakes contrast with those warm flakes. This is really something special. This is a polish where the more I look at it, the more I want it. The deeper I research this one through these swatch photos provided on the website, the more I fall in love with it. This one went from being, oh, it's nice and a lovely polish, to a very strong contender this month on my wish list. This spectacular flaky polish is by Cuticula Metamorphosis. This next polish up is by Garden Path Lacquers, and this one is called This Seeing. Garden Path Lacquers continues their favorite book covers series with a polish inspired by A Wrinkle in Time by Madeline L'Engle. We do not know what things look like. We know what things are like. It must be a very limiting thing, this seeing. And that's a quote from Aunt Beast. This seeing has a black jelly base filled with fine particle shifting orange shimmer and gold holographic microglitter. Now, unlike so many of the others on my wish list, I added this one because this polish was quite a standout among all the other very wintry type offerings that I was seeing. This one for me I see as being a late summer, fall, winter, kind of a half year type polish. Not only that though, but I love this type of finish from Garden Path Lacquers. These polishes with the shifting shimmer and holographic microglitter are just magic in real life on your nails. And I know for myself that every time I love a series of swatch photos of this type of finish from Garden Path Lacquers, I know that once I get it in person on my nails, I will be stunned seeing it in real life. It happens every single time. Garden Path Lacquers and this particular finish of polish, it's a match made in heaven, and I own several in my collection at this point, and I adore them all. And I think that this one would be no different. I find this color so inviting. It's elegant, it's deep, it's a little bit mysterious, it's beautiful. Also, this book, this is a book that I would love to revisit now in my adult life. I can remember reading it quite young. I feel like I was maybe in grade 3 or grade 4 when I read this book. I can remember this is one of those books that I read kind of on my own, but also I can remember my mom reading it to me. I can remember really loving this book, but I can also at the time remember being really confused by sort of the fantasy type aspect to this book. So I'd love to revisit it as an adult and enjoy it again through adult eyes. I can remember my mom really loving this book as well. That's part of the reason why I know she saw that I was reading it on my own, and she, at the time, she had heard about it and had wanted to read it as well. So I can remember we backtracked and she actually ended up reading the book along with me right from the beginning. So it's like I read this book, I think 1.5 times in that sense. But I remember it being rather transformative in my young life at the time, thinking that I had read something kind of adult because my mom had wanted to read it as well. So this one also brings with it that nostalgia factor for me, which always gets my heart and kind of elevates these nail polish picks for me a little bit higher in my wish list. This one is another strong contender this month. This polish with the lovely shimmer and the gold holographic micro glitter is by Garden Path Lacquers, This Seeing. This next polish up is by Hula Moon, and this one is called What Else Can We Pile On Here? This one is another capped offering with only 200 being made available this month. Hula Moon continues their My Cousin Vinny series. What Else Can We Pile On Here has a gold jelly base filled with gold flakies, hollow flakies, and pink to gold shimmer. Now this is a series that I've been following month after month from Hula Moon, their My Cousin Vinny series, and I've collected every single polish so far. My Cousin Vinny is a movie that has such a nostalgic place in my heart. It's a movie that my dad and I, when I was younger, enjoyed watching together, also with my sister too, many times. And it's one of his favorite movies of all time, I know, because of the way we enjoyed this movie together on so many occasions when I was living at home. This is also one of my favorite movies, bringing all those wonderful nostalgic memories. Now this polish though, I have to admit, I'm not really loving the look of this one as much as I've loved the look of the previous polishes in this series. I can't really even exactly pinpoint quite what it is for me that's holding me back, because I love gold polishes. Maybe it's this warm pink shimmer that's running throughout it. It is unique in my collection. I don't really have any pinky golds in my collection, but I don't know what it is. It's not quite getting me, I don't think. I mean, I like it. I guess I'm not loving it. Like, I can't really necessarily see it on me. And it kind of breaks my heart a little bit because I would love to collect this whole series. I mean, I realize it's a silly reason to add a polish to my wish list, but I don't know. There's just something that's not quite hitting for me yet. It is very unique though. I have a huge nail polish collection and none of my golds have this type of a look. In fact, I can't even think of anything I've ever seen that has this type of a look. But I don't know. I think also I do have a redheaded parent as well. I know I have a lot of redness in my skin tone, and I don't know how flattering a color like this one will be on me. For now, I am leaving this polish in my wish list. It is unique. I do have the rest in this series, and I've been loving what Hula Moon has been producing month upon month. I do need to do a little bit of research to see maybe this polish applied in a video swatch, to see it in motion a little bit, to see how it might play in different type of lighting conditions. But this one may be the first kind of obvious cut from my wish list at this point. I just don't know how flattering it's going to be on my paler skin tone that I know has quite a bit of a reddishness to it. This interesting gold polish with the beautiful pink shimmer is by Hula Moon. What else can we pile on here? This next one up is by Lurid Lacquer, and this one is called Not Another Silk Wrapped Steel Impalement. Lurid Lacquer continues their A Court of Tropes and Cliches with a polish inspired by cringe-worthy romantic euphemisms. Not Another Silk Wrapped Steel Impalement has a semi-sheer gray base with aurora shimmer that shifts from pink to red to gold and subtle linear holographic sparkle. This one also has an availability cap of 500. First of all, this series by Lurid Lacquer has been hilarious. Just seeing these polish names month after month, I still have not read a romantasy book, so I really need to get going on that. I had a busier summer than I ever thought I would. Same thing with Christmas holiday. I'm a teacher. I don't know what it was that occupied my summer and my winter so much because I have trouble reading for pleasure during the school year. I was really hoping during those breaks from school I could get something read and see what this whole romantasy genre is all about, but it never did happen. So I guess I'll have to wait till next summer, or perhaps dive into an audiobook. That's another way that I can maybe manage to do it. Getting a little bit of personal reading in or audiobook listening on my commute into work, because I do have a reasonable drive. But anyway, back to this polish. Unlike the last one, where I was really questioning whether I think it would flatter me, this is a polish finish and color that I love and I'm drawn to time after time. And I wear this type of color constantly. I can wear it any time of year. It's like a neutral but better on my nails. And this is tried and true in my collection. I pull them constantly. Any season of the year, any type of occasion, whether it's for work, whether it's a wedding, whether it's unfortunately a funeral, to me, these types of polishes are the ones in this type of colorway that do the heavy duty in my life. And I know I love them and I can get a lot of use out of them. This one was an easy add to my wish list for that reason. And where I'm going to have to do a little bit of a deep dive is to see how this one compares to others in my collection. That shimmer is beautiful. And lurid lacquer is a polish that I have trouble acquiring here in Canada. In order for me to get lurid lacquer, there is no stockist here in Canada. I have to shop directly from lurid lacquer. And unfortunately for me, that comes with a hefty tariff and shipping charge. Just the way it gets to me in Canada, the shipping company that they choose to use, it comes with a significant tariff and shipping hit for me, which makes purchasing lurid lacquer very difficult. For me, the best way to acquire this incredibly popular brand is through collaboration websites like Handmade Creations. And luckily, I do have access to a Canadian group buy. So anytime I see a color from lurid lacquer that I know I'll love, I almost invariably add it to my cart. Lurid lacquer is another brand where every single polish of theirs I've tried, I've loved. I've heard a lot of swatchers here on YouTube say that lurid lacquer, for a lot of them, is becoming their new favorite brand. They are still rather new to me. It was really only just last year that I was able to purchase from lurid lacquer, because in 2025, we saw the very start of them being able to ship internationally. So I'm really just starting to work through that initial shipment of mine that I received in 2025. I'm starting to work through my polishes now, but every single one that I've tried so far has been an absolute hit for me, like a 5-star polish, loving them all. And I know that I'd love this one as well. So this one is another strong contender on my wish list, but I will have to take a deep dive into my polish collection to see how this color truly compares. I have the feeling I have others in my polish that are close enough. And by purchasing this one, I might be sort of duping myself. But I do know that lurid lacquer quality is absolutely outstanding. So even if I did go ahead and purchase this one, I know I won't be disappointed. This one is a strong contender, but not for sure at this point. This beautiful gray-based polish with that gorgeous shimmer is by lurid lacquer, not another silk-wrapped steel impalement. This next polish on my wish list is by Lynn B Designs, and this one is called BP Sleen. This one is another capped offering with only 150 being made available. Lynn B Designs begins a new series inspired by spoonerisms. BP Sleen has a buildable green jelly base with silver microflakes and pink to gold to green shifting flakies. Now I have to say, I was sort of stumbling over the words a little bit. I have no idea what it means by spoonerisms. I guess it's things somebody says. I'm not sure who Spooner is. So I have no reference at all for this series that is a new one being started by Lynn B Designs. But what had me add this one to my wish list was this gorgeous green flaky. I love green polishes. This is a spectacular green flaky polish. And unlike some of the other ones in my wish list that clearly have wintry vibes, to me, this one has all the freshness of spring and summer. Also fall too, like early fall, just as the very beginnings of leaves changing is starting to happen in my area, usually in August or September. Those earliest days of fall, this makes me think of that as well. This polish is so fresh and so refreshing to see on my wish list among all those sort of wintry, icy polishes. This one, as a green lover, was an immediate add to my wish list. Now I am, though, a green lover, so I'll have to see how this one does compare with some of the others I've purchased previously. It is so inviting to me, though. And I love the way that in different types of lighting, you see the different shades of green that you might be able to achieve or that you might be able to see. Here, to me, this is a really lush, leafy green that I'm seeing here. This one looks so summery. In other swatch photos, I find it has a little bit more of a light look to it. Like here, I find maybe it's actually the golden aspect of the flakies that is taking over that makes me think of the newest spring buds. It seems a little bit lighter and fresher. No matter what photo I'm looking at, it is truly beautiful. And as a green lover, this one I had to add to my wish list. It is fresh and refreshing. This beautiful green flaky is by Lynn B Designs, BP Sleen. This next one on my wish list is by Moonshine Manny, and this one is called 99 Nights in the Forest. And this one is another capped offering with 200 being made available. Moonshine Manny begins a new series inspired by games called Farming XP, with the first polish inspired by the computer game of the same name. 99 Nights in the Forest is a silky red-brown glowing with red, copper, gold multichrome and magnetic shimmers, and a twinkle from green, teal, blue, violet shimmer. This polish is another top pick of mine this month. There is so much that I love about this polish. Firstly, this base color. This is so rich, and I love that here it's described as being a silky red-brown. I very much agree with that. It is such a stunningly, just indulgent color. It really gets me. And these magnetic effects that we're seeing here in this swatch photo and throughout all of them, I'm loving it in every type of magnetic state. I love how, I guess in the index finger that I'm seeing here, it looks to me to be the velvet magnetic style. I love how it gives that really sparkly kind of depth. Like I almost feel like I'm looking into some sort of a silky red pool of some sort. Like it looks like almost looking through a gemstone. It's got that really interesting glow to it. And then in the cat eye style that I know we're seeing on this swatcher's middle finger, I love how you get the variation from the brighter looking red, almost an orangey red perhaps, to that brown. And then I love how you really see the cool twinkle from that green. Like it really is unique. That cool colored twinkle. I know I don't have anything like this one in my collection, and I would love to play around with this one in my own life. Seeing this here makes me think of gemstones. It makes me think of some of the warmer color, maybe garnets and things like that you might be able to see. It's got a little bit of an orangey aspect to my eye anyway. I guess that also comes in with it being described as a silky red brown. I mean, brown kind of, to me, kind of implies that there's that fiery warmth to it, a little bit of an orange aspect. And so many swatchers were able to beautifully capture that twinkle that happens in this polish. I mean, if so many of them were able to capture that through a still photo, I can only imagine what it might look like in real life. All the shifts and the twinkles and the shimmers, all the different magnetic effects that you could play around with. I really think that this polish is going to be in my shopping cart for sure when the shop opens January 14th. I'm loving the look of this one. As far as how this one fits into my collection and my life, I truly think this is a unique offering. I don't think I have anything at all like this in my collection. So right there, I would love to own it. I could see myself wearing this one pretty much anytime, especially in summer, fall. Especially, it makes me think of hot summer heat in a way, like summer, fall without a doubt, also winter. I could see myself wearing this one at Christmas time. It's kind of an elegant take on a holiday look. Maybe not quite so much in the springtime. It does have a little bit of a darkness to it, but oh, I love it. It's got such a beautiful look, so many different interesting components to it. And this is another one that I love in every single swatch photo on every swatcher, and I think it would be just 10 times more beautiful in person. This one for me is a must-have for my collection. This beautiful magnetic is by Moonshine Manny, 99 Nights in the Forest. This next one up is by Night Owl Lacquer, and this one is called Let Me Whisper in Your Eyes. Night Owl Lacquer continues their Bob's Burgers series with a polish inspired by the lyrics from one of the weird Boys for Now songs. Let Me Whisper in Your Eyes is a smoky blue filled with multi-chrome flakes that shift green, teal, blue, purple, magenta, and holographic dust. There is no availability cap for this one. This one for me was an immediate add to wish list. It's for its unique factor and also for the way that I could see myself wearing this in my life. It's almost like I was already making plans the moment I saw this for how I would wear this polish. And I think it's quite versatile for my life. So my immediate thought was this would be such a fun back to school polish. I'm a teacher, I think I mentioned that earlier. This type of a color always makes me think of denim blues. This one for me is that like summer into fall type denim, a little bit light, a little bit washed, and a lot fun. I can totally see this being a back to school September polish for me and wearing it lots at that time of year. And I can see myself wearing it like every year as a back to school type of polish. Denim blues are always ones that I pull constantly in September. Not only that though, with its multi-chrome flakes, this one screams fall to me. Multi-chrome and fall, it looks like, electric leaves, if that's even possible. Like it's not the literal kind of look of fall leaves, but there's something, kind of cyber fall about this one. It sounds so weird, but it makes me think of fall and fall leaves and kind of like a trippy futuristic type take on fall. It makes sense in my mind. It probably doesn't make sense at all the way I'm describing it. But then there's the winter and that icy, that stormy blue aspect to it. And that stormy aspect is also what's making me think about this polish and springtime. It's making me think of rain. Even summer rain. I truly see this as being an all-season polish in my life. I was so excited when I saw this one. And actually, I think this one's another top pick. It's unique. I see it as being versatile for my life in some really offbeat ways. I really hope that I'm making sense because it makes sense in my own head. It probably is kind of loopy hearing me describe it. But I love this one. I really do. And I'm super duper excited about it. And I don't know, to me, I've got to own this one. I love it. I don't know what else to say. And hearing this description, I have to say, I have not watched much more than one episode of Bob's Burgers. And it was just sort of incidentally. I think it happened to be on the TV at the time when I was visiting some friends. And oh my gosh, I have got to watch this show. I don't even know what this means. Inspired by the lyrics from one of the weird Boys for Now songs. I've got to watch this show. I don't know. How is this gorgeous polish inspired by this lyric and this inspiration, this aspect of the show? This series of polishes has been blowing my mind. I own so many of them. And I don't know, just Night Owl Lacquer, way to go. This one just has my heart. This is another one of my top picks this month. This gorgeous smoky blue is by Night Owl Lacquer. Let me whisper in your eyes. This next polish up is by Paint It Pretty Polish, and this one is called Sour Sweet Gone. This one is another capped offering. There are only 80 of these polishes being made available this month. That is an incredibly small cap for an incredibly beautiful polish. Paint It Pretty Polish continues their Childhood Candies series with a polish inspired by Sour Patch Kids. Sour Sweet Gone has a medium blue base with a shifting shimmer and reflective glitter. Oh boy, so first of all, Paint It Pretty Polish. This is a brand that I adore. It's another Canadian brand that is quite local to me. It is from my home province of Ontario, Canada, and I do purchase from them whenever I can, also directly from their web shop, and I've purchased from them many times. I love this brand. Their polishes, they have a way of working with really any type of a component, and I fall in love with their polishes. I think they're actually really quite underrated. Now, I've got to say, the thing that really had me add this one to my wish list, because I thought it was beautiful at first, but I thought, do I really need it? I think I have some shimmers that are kind of like this. But this one is a reflective glitter polish, and I thought, what a perfect way to kind of embody this inspiration in polish, the Sour Patch Kids inspiration, then to add reflective glitter to a shimmer, kind of gummy, jelly looking polish that we've got here. It's got that lightness of a shimmer polish, but the reflective glitter, it's got that coarse sugar kind of texture to it. It's a brilliant way to embody this inspiration in a bottle of polish. Reflective glitter remains one of my favorite polish finishes. I don't pull on it in my collection quite as much as I pull the ever versatile shimmer finish polishes. Just they're so easy to work with and easy to remove. Reflective glitter for me, though, is probably a close second. I love this finish. The way it sparkles in any kind of light, it gives a sparkle and a twinkle unlike any other component that you can have. This is another one of those polishes where I think they've really encapsulated the idea of Sour Patch Kids in a bottle of nail polish. I think it's really smart the way that Paint It Pretty Polish has chosen to work with this inspiration. Now, interestingly enough, I have a ton of shimmer polishes by Paint It Pretty Polish. It's actually one of my favorite finishes that they produce. I can't think of a single reflective glitter polish that I own from them. I have magnetics, I have shimmers, I have flakies, but reflective glitter, I'm going to have to dive into my Paint It Pretty Polish collection a little bit, but I can't recall a single one that I have with the reflective glitter component. I would love to try this from Paint It Pretty Polish. It's beautiful. I know that it's unique to my Paint It Pretty Polish collection because I can't think of a single one with the reflective glitter component. I love polishes like these. They're a favorite in my collection. This one is wintry, but it's also fresh. I could see myself wearing this polish, much like the last one with its interesting blue base color, all seasons throughout the year for very much the same type of reasons as the Night Owl lacquer I just spoke about. Fall for denim blues, winter it's got that icy aspect, the freshness of spring and spring rain, and in the summer it looks like a beautiful sparkling lake. I love this one. This gorgeous magical sparkly polish is by Paint It Pretty Polish, Sour Sweet Gone. This final polish on my wish list is by Rogue Lacquer, and this one is called Dumbo the Flying Elephant. Rogue Lacquer begins a new series inspired by magical theme park rides. Dumbo the Flying Elephant is a light gray crelly with a scattered, I'll just edit that too, with a scattering of rosy pink glass flakes and rose gold metallic flakes. Luckily, there is no availability cap for this one. I know I mentioned earlier I love grays and grayed aspect to polishes. I find it adds to their versatility for my lifestyle. They're kind of an edgy take on a neutral for me. I do pull grays year round. I find it a little edgier than wearing perhaps the traditional kind of nude or peachy, brownish, beigeish kind of color. For me, grays also fit that bill in my life, and I love this one. So, first of all, what a beautiful base color. I find that this gray is just such a quintessential gray. It's described as being a light gray crelly. I can't really tell if this one is warm or if it's cool. It almost looks to my eye to fall kind of right smack dab in the middle. I don't really see much of a blued aspect, a cool aspect to this one. I don't really see that warm, sort of brown leaning taupe kind of look. This one looks to my eye anyway to be quite a neutral take on a gray, neither cold nor warm. And then there's these flakies. So this one is described as having rosy pink glass flakes as well as rose gold metallic flakes. So you've got that really pretty hint of pink. I see winter in this polish. I see spring. It makes me think a little bit of cherry blossoms and apple blossoms that we get a lot in my area. It also has a coziness that makes me think of fall. And anytime you've got flakes that play with the light, I'm also drawn to them in the summer. I love the way flakes or hollow, I love the way they play in sunlight. And so I see this one as an all seasons of the year type polish for me. Wow. I mean, I love the look of this. I would love to see this in person. I think the two different kinds of flakes are a little bit difficult to pick up in some of these swatch photos. It's got, as I said, the pink glass flakes, as well as rose gold metallic flakes. They would pick up the light differently. Metallics versus the glass flakes. I love the idea of this one. I'll see if I can zoom in a little bit by hovering. Yeah, I mean, as I said, the flakes are very complementary in their colors, but they are, I don't know, like a different quality. So I think they would play so interestingly with the light. Now, the one thing is I know technically, if I had the right base color, I could just wear a nice gray creme polish and top it with a rose gold topper. I believe that I have a rose gold topper from, I think it's ILNP. I believe I have one of theirs. I could probably do something to give a similar type of look, but I know that I don't have a topper with pink glass flakes, not at all. Just the amount, I don't know, there's something about getting a polish like this one where you have a acrylic that actually comes with the flakes inside the polish itself. You can't quite get the same look from just layering. I wish I could, but I don't know. This one, it's really sticking with me. I think this is another strong contender on my wish list. I would love to have it in my collection. I would get a ton of use out of a polish like this. This beautiful light gray acrylic polish with the flakies is by Rogue Lacquer Dumbo the Flying Elephant. So that's it for my wish list. I definitely see a trend in my wish list. I am absolutely drawn to a lot of these wintry colors right now. Deep reds, icy blues, some off-whites, and some grays. There are a couple of outliers that I'm thinking of. One of them in particular is that lovely lush green by Linby Designs. And another one is that brighter purple polish by Cuticula, that really interesting flaky called Metamorphosis. The Hella Handmade Creations shop opens with the new January releases on January the 14th, 2026 at 12:01 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and the shop remains open for a full week, closing on January 21st, 2026 at 11:59 p.m. Hawaiian Time. So I'm wondering, are you planning on shopping Hella Handmade Creations this month? If you are, which items are catching your eye? I'd also love to know all your thoughts about my wish list. I feel pretty confident that I can keep my spending in check this month, which is a good thing because I'm really hoping to scale back and really just make purchases of things that I feel incredibly strongly about, where I can see them fitting into my life with a vision, not just because I'm swayed to like it. So I'd love to know your thoughts on my wish list. Please feel free to add all your comments and we can continue on the conversation long after. If you enjoy wish listing content like this, please consider giving this video a like. By giving this video a like, it indicates to me that you enjoy content similar to this, and in the months ahead, I'll try my best to produce further wish listing content like this as often as I can. As well, if you enjoy nail polish related content in general, please consider subscribing. I release nail related content as often as I can, and by subscribing, you won't miss out on any of the fun. Thank you so much for watching. Happy shopping and Happy New Year. Wishing you all the best in 2026. Hopefully I'll see you again in the next one. Take care. Bye.